Okay, good morning, guys. So, how's everybody? I hope all of you are doing well. Just give me a minute as I set up my device and then we'll be ready to go. Okay. One second, guys. Okay, so the device is all set up now. We're at 112 people now. I'm assuming that the other 100 odd people would be joining us soon. Okay, let's see. Okay, Anusha, Manisha, Pranav, Chetan, Pritish, Bhumika, Khushi, Naren, Baswaraj, Ruchi, Sanjana, Dhanya, Sahana, Rifa, Ashwin, Chaitra, Sahana, Karthik, Saubhagya, Neerja, Suraj, Advait, Aishwarya, Sindhu, Jyoti, Abhishek, Shrigari, Shravani, Dhanush, Soumya, Dhanush, Hariprakash, Vamsi, Sanket. Morning, guys. Good morning. Great to see you guys. Okay. Morning, Aishwarya. Okay, so I hope all of you are doing well here. I wish you guys nothing but the best. Okay. So start करें फिर आज का session. Okay. So human health and diseases. Today is lecture number 9. Today is lecture number 9, right? Okay. Pranav, I am all ears, beta. Okay. We already done with 8 lectures. Today we'll be doing the 9th lecture. And most probably I would need 2 at max 3 lectures to finish this chapter off. So before we start with that, just let me make this clear. So in your MT is on 19th of July. That is 10 days from now. Your MT is on 19th of July. That is 10 days from now. Okay. And there will be only one extra chapter, which would be human health and diseases. Okay, strategies in food enhancement is not there. Okay, so there will be only one extra chapter, that is human health and diseases. Okay, so do not worry about that. Good morning, Anil. So on 19th you guys would have your MT. There's only one extra chapter, that is human health and diseases. That is human health and diseases. Okay, good morning, Vidyashri. Okay. What about the weightage beta? Again, 50% will be from 12th standard, 50% would be from 11th standard. Okay, good morning, Vaishnavi. Good morning, Prithvi. Okay, so do not worry about that. Okay, so that would be the weightage, 50% from these 5 chapters, 50% from 11th standard portion. Okay, okay, start kare beta fir. Okay, so yeah, your MT would be on 19th of July, which is not this Sunday, the Sunday after that. Okay, so this Sunday is 12th. On 19th of July, you would have your MT. So make sure that you're preparing well for it. Make sure that you're preparing well for it. Advance mein bata diya, you guys have 10 days. Okay, you need any help, you let me know. Okay, chalo, start karte beta fir. So human health and diseases. Let's do a quick revision of what we did in yesterday's class. Okay, okay. Good morning, Prithvi. Good morning, guys. Okay, 1 second. Give me a second, guys. Okay. Okay. Good morning, Viresh. Good morning, Yashwanvi. Okay, so let's just do a quick revision of what we did in yesterday's class. So in yesterday's class, what we did was, we talked about your lymphatic system. We talked about your lymphatic system. Sorry, not lymphatic system. Sorry, immune system. Sorry, we talked about immune system. Okay, I was distracted for a moment. Yeah, we talked about immune system, and in immune system, we talked about your primary lymphoid organs, and we talked about your secondary lymphoid organs, and we talked about your secondary lymphoid organs, and we talked about your secondary lymphoid organs. Okay. And then after that we talked about what the so primary lymphoid organs consist of bone marrow and thymus, and your secondary lymphoid organs were so many. We talked about nodes, we talked about spleen, we talked about, we also talked about your Peyer's patches, there was mucosal associated marl tissue, there was tonsils. So those are all your secondary lymphoid organs. And after that we talked about your diseases of immune system. We talked about your diseases of immune system, and in the diseases of immune system we talked about the first one. The first disease that we talked about was your allergies, and then we talked about your autoimmunity. There's one more disease that is left, which will be starting off today, that is immunodeficiency disease, and then we will be talking, that would lead us directly into AIDS. Okay. Okay, Pranav is saying, sir, are you not well? Why everybody, at least not everybody, why every day is one or the other person asks me I'm not well? If I was not well, I would not take class. Okay, do not worry. Okay. Okay, so start karte beta. As always, let's start with a couple of revision questions. It's just that I just wrapped up one more class 10 minutes ago, so I might be a tiny bit tired, but not that much. Let's see. Okay, my voice is no spaced. I don't know why you guys always think that. Yeah. Chalo. Let's see. So the first question is on your screen. The first question is on your screen. In higher vertebrates, the human immune system can distinguish between non-cells and cell cells. If this property is lost due to genetic abnormality or attacks cell cells, this leads to what? Simple sa question hai beta. Okay, ठीक है. 10 seconds beta. 10 seconds. I'll close the poll. Okay, 5 seconds beta, then I'll close the poll. 5 seconds and I'll close the poll beta. Okay. 3, 2, 1, and let's stop. Okay. Okay. So what do you think is the correct answer? So according to you guys, C is the correct option, and C is absolutely the correct option. That is, those are known as autoimmune diseases. Those are known as what? Autoimmune diseases. So autoimmune diseases are the diseases when the immune system loses the ability to distinguish between the self and the non-self cells and start attacking the own cells of the body. So this question was asked in NEET 2016. Now let's go to the next question, which was asked in NEET 2018. Which of the following is not an autoimmune disease? Which the following is not an autoimmune disease? The following is not an autoimmune disease. The following is not an autoimmune disease. ठीक है, कल मैंने बताया था, I told you guys that this was the question that I was talking about in yesterday's class, that there was a question that was asked, okay, in which diseases were mentioned that have not been mentioned in your textbook also. ठीक है. Okay. Okay, you guys have 10 seconds. Yeah, you guys have 10 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds and I'll close the poll. 5 seconds and I'll close the poll. 3, 2, 1, and let's stop. Okay, chalo. So according to you guys, 40% of you think that D is the correct option, and D is indeed the correct option. Alzheimer's disease is not an autoimmune disease. Okay? And the other three, that is psoriasis, rheumatoid arthritis, and vitiligo, are your autoimmune disease. In the first three, the cells of the body start destroying, lymphocytes start destroying the cells of the body. But in Alzheimer's disease is when your cells of the brain start degrading on their own, right? When they start degrading on their own, so as a result of that, the person experiences short-term memory loss, and in the long term there could be loss of coordination, speech, and all that stuff. So Alzheimer is not an autoimmune disease. Alzheimer is not an autoimmune disease. Okay? The other three are autoimmune disease. I mentioned the other three in the poster that I put in yesterday's class, in the graphic that I put in yesterday's class. The other three were mentioned, but the Alzheimer's disease was not mentioned. Okay? Okay, so now what are we going to do today? So yesterday we were left with one disease. The one disease that we were left with was immunodeficiency disease. We were left with immunodeficiency diseases. That is what we are going to start today, and that immunodeficiency diseases would lead us directly into AIDS. Okay, chalo. So let's start with disorders of immune system and immunodeficiency diseases. So for that, in order to understand whatever we have about the three types of diseases, there's a very funny comic which I found on the internet. So immune system is like a guard dog, okay, that protects you against threats. Okay, he's a good dog. Now in allergies, what happens is, okay, the immune system may overreact and attack things that aren't inherently harmful, like your friend Mike. So your dog will bite even friendly people, okay, like your friends. So that is what happens in allergies. In autoimmune disease, what happens is the dog bites you, right? So the immune system might fail to recognize the difference between friend and foe, and the dog will attack the owner. And what is immunodeficiency disease? In the immunodeficiency disease, the immune system stops working, the dog is dead. So that is what immunodeficiency disorders are. Okay, so if you ever have trouble remembering how to differentiate between the three types of disorders of immune system, think of immune system as a dog. A good dog or a good immune system protects you against threats, never against friend. Kal ko mera friend aa raha hai, my dog should not bite my friend. But if you have allergies, then you would have a reaction, or your dog would bite even the things that are not harmful to you. Okay, and in autoimmune disease, your dog will bite you yourself. Okay, and in immunodeficiency disease, your dog is dead. Okay, so you can always remember these diseases through the help of this comic. Anyway, so what are immunodeficiency diseases? So immunodeficiency diseases are conditions where the defense mechanism of the body are weakened, leading to repeated microbial infections. When the immune system is compromised, then even the most harmless of bacteria would end up causing an infection in your body. So that is the problem with immunodeficiency disease, that your immune system becomes weak, and in that case you would fall sick very easily. So you must have seen that there are some people who do not fall sick very easily, but there are some people who fall sick very easily. So the difference is the strength of their immune system. Some people who have excellent immune system, they do not fall sick more than maybe once, twice a year. And when I say sick, maybe they'll have a fever for a couple of days and then they'll be fine. But people whose immune system is not that good, they would fall sick frequently. And in immunodeficient people, the immune system is very, very weak. As a result of that, there are repeated microbial infections. And the immunodeficiency diseases can be primary or secondary. So there can be primary immunodeficiency diseases or secondary immunodeficiency disease. So let's see what are primary and what are secondary immunodeficiency diseases. So let's first talk about primary immunodeficiency diseases. So these diseases exist from the birth. And what happens in this disease is a person may be without B cells or T cells, or both from the birth, Okay, Basu, you should talk to a dietitian about that. You should talk to a doctor, not to me. I am not the right person to comment on that. Okay, anyway, so a person may be without B cells or T cells, or in severe cases, the person could be both without both B cells or T cells. Example of this disease is severe combined immunodeficiency disease, which is known as SCID. So a person suffering from SCID lacks both B cells and T cells from birth. And this is a person suffering from SCID. So as you can see, the person is wearing, or the child is wearing a spacesuit like structure. And the reason why the child is wearing that, because the child has no B cells or T cells. So that even the smallest of antigen, from the outside, Prajwal, please tell me what your doubt is, beta. Even the smallest of antigen, from the outside can harm you, can cause great harm to the child. So people who have severe combined immunodeficiency disease, they lack both B cells and T cells, and they basically literally have to live in a bubble to continue living, because even the smallest of interaction with the foreign antigen could be life threatening to them. How do she breathe? So beta, so you see that orange pipe coming out of her helmet, that is how she breathes. Okay. Do they have to wear it lifetime? They have to wear it whenever they step outside of their room. So their room is usually very well maintained. Whenever they have to step outside of the room, then they have to wear it. Okay. What if that person gets corona? They'll be gone in a minute. I'm pretty sure they'll be gone very soon. Okay, that means they cannot live without a suit. That is not the case, Anush. They can live without a suit, but that is only if the place that they are in is completely sanitized and does not contain anything from the outside. There's no cure or treatment. No. Unfortunately, there is no cure or treatment here. How do they? Arey beta, hamesha suit mein nahi rehte hain. They wear that suit whenever they step outside of their home. So people who suffer from severe combined immunodeficiency disease, their home is very well maintained. Like random people cannot enter their home. And if you're entering your home, you have to get yourself completely sanitized. And when you serve food to those people, you have to wear masks, you have to wear gloves and all that stuff. So it's not like that these people always live in suits. They wear suits when they have to go outside of their home in conditions that are not sanitized. Okay. So could we provide lymphocytes to these people? But beta, lymphocytes have a limited lifespan. Plasma cells ka 3 din hi hota yaar. Then after that, what will she do? She'll keep on taking plasma. Okay, so I hope that answered your question, why we can't inject them with B cells and T cells, right? Okay, how to overcome this beta? Unfortunately, there is no treatment for severe combined immunodeficiency disease. You just have to live in a very protective environment for the rest of your life. Okay, but rhinovirus is everywhere in the world. Then what is confirmation that his or her room clean? Who told you that rhinovirus is everywhere? I've never heard that rhinovirus is everywhere. If rhinovirus was everywhere, we would be getting a cold every other day. Okay, so this is severe combined. No, it's okay. Dhanush, no need to be sorry. No need to be sorry. I'm just asking a question. Can SCID be detected through amniocentesis? This is a very good question. Actually, I'm not sure, but I think we should be able to, because it is a genetic disease. And if it is a genetic disease, we should be able to detect it by amniocentesis. That's a very good question, right? Applying something that we learned in some other chapter. I think we should be able to. Theoretically, I think it is possible. Whether we are able to or not, we do not know, because there's a very big difference between theory and practical. So theoretically, I think we should be able to, but I'm not sure whether practically we can or not. Okay. Can lymphocytes be made using stem cells? But stem cell research itna zyada difficult hai that scientists are still trying to wrap their heads around it. Can it be cured by bone marrow transplantation? Again, a very good question. Theoretically, it should be, but bone marrow transplantation is very difficult and expensive process. Now, theoretically, we should be, because bone marrow is a place where your B and the T lymphocytes are formed. So they should be. Okay, but we do not know. Like I do not know. I should not say we do not know. I'm saying I do not know. Maybe we can cure this by bone marrow transplant. Okay, lifespan of such people is short. Obviously, it would be short, beta. Okay. Anushri, yes, beta, your question is the same as Prasiddhi. Can we detect in the womb? theoretically it should be possible, whether practically it is possible or not, I cannot comment on that. Okay, chalo aage badhe fir. Let's move forward then. So that is your severe combined immunodeficiency disease. Is this rare one? Yes, Saishrat, it is rare. It is rare. Now the next one is so that is your primary secondary immunodisease. Okay, immunodeficiency disease. Okay. No, Dhanush, no. So a variety of factors such as malnutrition, infections, metabolic disorders, okay, malignancy, and cytotoxic drugs may lead to defects in specific and non-specific immunity. So primary immunodeficiency diseases are present from both. Secondary immunodeficiency disease you get after you are born. You get after you are born. Okay, and they could be because of infection, because of not eating properly, because of malignancy, that is cancer, right? And it could be because of some cytotoxic drugs. So secondary immunodeficiency diseases are more common than primary immunodeficiency diseases. What are the examples? The examples are AIDS and Hodgkin's disease. Hodgkin's disease kya hai beta? Hodgkin's disease is cancer of lymphatic tissue. Cancer of lymphatic tissue. So obviously, if there's cancer in the lymphatic tissue, your lymphocytes may not be functioning properly. So as a result of that, your immune system would become compromised. So secondary immune system are because of factors other than both. They are not present from both. They get triggered because one of the reasons that I mentioned. Okay. Dhanush, do not know, beta. I do not know. Okay, and I do not know, so I cannot comment on that. Okay. So secondary immunodeficiency disease are more common than primary immunodeficiency disease. Example are AIDS and Hodgkin's disease. Beta, malignant, Naren, wherever you see malignant means cancerous. AIDS is not malignant, beta. Okay. So, okay, a malignant disease of, lymphatic tissue. That is what lymphoma is. That is what lymphoma is. Is it possible to determine the malfunctioning of bone marrow through amniocentesis? Your question is the same as the previous two questions, beta. I cannot comment on that because usually in amniocentesis, the cells that we found in the womb, they are usually from the outer parts of the body, right? You do not see a cell from the bone marrow of the baby. So I'm not sure. But should we be able to determine whether the person would be able to produce D lymphocytes or T lymphocytes properly after birth? I say theoretically we should be able to, but whether practically we are able to do that or not, I'm not sure. Maybe you guys can look into it. I'll also look into it and then we'll see. Okay. Athar, could you please tell me what is Hashimoto's disease, beta? Could you please tell me what is Hashimoto's disease? Okay, chalo. So that is your secondary immunodeficiency disease. Could you please tell me what is secondary? So once you tell me what is Hashimoto's disease, then I'll answer your question. Okay, so that is your immunodeficiency disease. So primary immunodeficiency disease is present from the birth. Secondary immunodeficiency disease is present after birth. Okay, you gain it. Okay, I know Pritesh, but I'm asking him since he was the one who asked me the question, right? So I'm asking him. I know I mentioned it to them. So Athar, so I think that should answer your question. Okay, so your secondary immune system are because of external factors, and your AIDS and Hodgkin's disease, okay, they are example of secondary immunodeficiency disease because you get it from the outside or they get triggered after you are born. They are not present right from the birth. So a person could have a perfectly healthy immune system, but kal ko AIDS ho gaya immune system. Kal ko Hodgkin's disease ho gaya immune system. So that is your secondary immune system. So is primary and secondary immunodeficiency disease clear, everybody? Just give me a yes or no, beta. Is primary and secondary immunodeficiency disease clear, everybody? Just give me a yes or no. Sabko clear hai? Aage badhe? Chalo. So now this would beautifully lead us into AIDS. And everybody knows one thing or the other about AIDS. I know you guys might have a lot of questions. Again, I would not be able to answer all of them at the same time. So please be patient. If I miss your question, you can always stay back after the class and ask your question again. Okay? It's not that important to get them cleared on the spot. You can ask them after it also. Okay? Chalo. Now, so one thing that I'll be doing is okay. I'll be switching off chat till I'm done with an entire slide, and then I will open up the chat again. Once I'm done with the slide, then you can ask your questions. Okay? Because I know I'll get a barrage of questions from you guys. So let's start with AIDS. What does AIDS stand for? So AIDS stands for acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. AIDS stands for acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. And why do we call it acquired immunodeficiency syndrome? We call it acquired because we do not have it from birth. We acquire it from the outside. Immunodeficiency, why? Because the immune system gets completely destroyed. So this means what? This means deficiency of immune system acquired during the lifetime of an individual, indicating that it is not a congenital disease. So it is not a disease that is present from birth. Congenital diseases are those diseases which are present from the birth. So acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So acquired, you get it from the outside or you acquire it after birth. Immunodeficiency, your immune system gets weakened. And syndrome, what is syndrome? Syndrome means a group of symptoms. Syndrome means a group of symptoms, right? So it's very important to differentiate between symptoms and disease. It's very important to differentiate between symptoms and disease. Dekho beta. So disease is usually characterized by one or two symptoms, and we know how it works completely, and we know what is the underlying cause. Symptoms में लिख दिया, वहाँ पे syndrome आएगा, syndrome, right? So what is syndrome? So syndrome is a group of underlying symptoms which do not have a common thread binding them, and we lack the complete knowledge of how they work and how to treat them. So that is the key difference between syndrome and disease. So disease is a condition that is characterized by one or two symptoms, and we know everything about it. We know what causes this and how to fix it. Syndrome is a group of symptoms that do not have the underlying cause of which we do not understand right now. Okay? And there is no characteristic segment. Ki ye symptom hua, that means this is definitely the case. So for example, when we talk about malaria is a disease. So in malaria, the characteristic symptom is repeated cycles of fever and chills, right? And we know the reason also of why it happens. So that is a disease. Syndrome is a group of symptoms. जहाँ पे कोई correlation नहीं है between different symptoms. There is no correlation between different symptoms. So why is AIDS called a syndrome and not a disease? Because when you have AIDS, you might get TB, you might get pneumonia, you might get fungal infections, right? So they have different symptoms which are not at all related to the symptoms of the original condition that HIV causes. So that is why AIDS is a syndrome, because as AIDS progresses, you develop other symptoms. You will develop symptoms of tuberculosis, you may develop symptoms of pneumonia, you may develop symptoms of other fungal infections. And those symptoms are not at all related to those symptoms that HIV causes. So that is why this is a syndrome. Okay? So now I'll open up the chat. If you have any doubts, just let me know. Okay? Otherwise, I'll move forward. So if you have any doubts, let me know in this particular slide. आगे के doubts मत पूछना, पहले ही बता रहा हूँ. AIDS कैसे होता है, क्यों होता है, इससे AIDS होता है, वो आगे बताऊंगा. Any doubts in this? Others, I'll moving forward. ठीक है? Nobody has any doubts? Okay? चलो आगे बढ़े फिर. Okay, chalo, let's move forward then. Okay, so I'm muting the chat again. Okay, ask me a doubt related to what I've taught. Once I've covered the entire topic, फिर भी कोई doubt है, तो बता. ठीक है? As it is not congenital, then how is it transferred from parent to child? Beta, so whenever we say congenital, that means two things present from birth, and that is it is due to genes. Okay, so AIDS does not get transferred to the gene. AIDS transfers through the placenta. So whenever we say congenital, that means it is genetic in nature. That is, you have that disease because your genes are messed up. Okay, when AIDS is transferred to baby, then will the baby live or die? The baby will live, but the baby will also will have to struggle for his life. So then it can't be detected early. Dekho beta, it depends. So I'll tell you how it can be detected and all that. So that is something I'll talk about later. No, Dhanush, it is not congenital beta, because congenital matlab kya hai? You have it from the birth because there's something wrong with your genes, but you do not. So children who have AIDS from birth, they have it because their parents passed it to them, and their parents passed it to them to the placenta, not through the genes, Okay, chalo. Okay. So now I'm closing up the chat again. Okay, I'm closing up the chat again. I actually like this method. I do not get annoyed. Otherwise, I keep getting distracted from it out. Okay, okay. So now, AIDS was first reported in 1981, and in the last 25 years or so, it has spread all over the world, killing more than 25 million persons. Obviously, this is an old figure because this figure is something that I picked up from your textbook. So this is an old figure. Okay. So now obviously the number would be much higher. So the first case was reported in 1981. I think it was reported in US if my memory serves right. And in the last 25 years, so more than 25 million people have perished because of AIDS. Okay. Now, AIDS infections were detected in India for the first time in prostitutes of Chennai, Tamil Nadu in 1986. So in the prostitutes of Chennai in 1986, for the first time AIDS infections were detected. For the first time AIDS infections were detected. And how did this virus originate? So the virus for the disease are believed to have originated in non-human primates in Africa and are believed to have transferred to humans. And this process is known as zoonosis. So zoonosis is the process whenever a virus jumps from non-human to human. So animals say humans may have, that is known as zoonosis. So it jumped from primates, non-human primates to humans in the early 20th century. So there's a very famous theory about this that in Africa, bushmeat practice takes place. Bushmeat practices, you kill off other primates like chimps or monkeys and you eat their meat. So there's a hypothesis or the theory that it jumped from eating meat of a monkey or a gorilla to humans because the meat was not cooked properly. So as a result of that, the virus got transferred to humans. And there is a similar virus in chimps and monkeys, and that is known as SIV, simian immunodeficiency virus. And when that jumped into humans, it mutated to form human immunodeficiency virus. Okay, chalo. I'm opening up the chat again. If you have doubt, let me know. If you have any doubt, let me know from this particular slide. आगे का नहीं. इस slide में कुछ है तो बताओ. Okay, if you have any doubts in this particular slide, please let me know. If you ask a question from the beyond the scope of the slide, then unfortunately I'll have to move on. What is zoonosis? Mahavir, zoonosis is whenever a virus jumps from animal to human. Coronavirus was also because of zoonosis, because the virus jumped from bat or armadillo to humans. Tina, second and third point. Okay, so second point kya hai beta? That in India the infection was first discovered in prostitutes. I hope all of you know what are prostitutes. So they were discovered in prostitutes in Chennai in 1986. Okay. Third point is that the virus was initially present in that the Rohit, third point वही तो बता रहा है AIDS virus कैसे generate हुआ. That initially there was a similar virus in chimps and monkeys, and then it got jumped to humans. By the practice of meat eating, and that is how we ended up with HIV in our body. Coronavirus also zoonosis, yes beta taro. Okay. Only virus jumps from human to human, that is called zoonosis, yes. Okay. Africans had sex with monkeys, is it true? No. How it was detected? So they saw that there are certain people whose immune system was messed up. So they saw what must be the causative agent. So they saw that so in all these people who had weakened immune system, there was a virus which is common, and that virus later came out to be known as HIV. How the monkey get it? Rohit, no idea. Evolution. Okay, African people are isolated, then how did it spread? Who said African people are isolated? Planes, beta, planes. Okay, when were aeroplanes discovered here? We all know that Wright brothers discovered aeroplanes. When were aeroplanes? In which year did aeroplane discovered? Anybody knows in which year aeroplanes were discovered? Anybody has any idea in which year aeroplanes were discovered? Okay. Somebody saying 18th century, somebody saying 20th century, somebody saying 19th century. Oh my God. When were aeroplanes discovered? When were aeroplanes discovered? So aeroplanes, it seems like most of you think that it's 20th century. So the first aeroplane I think was 1903 or something like that, 1904. Okay, so that is when the aeroplanes came. So how can you say that Africans were isolated? People used to travel between continents when once air travel took off. Before that there was ship travel. Slavery kab ka chal raha hai? How do you think Britishers came to India? By ship. Okay, so how can you say that? Okay, anyway, so that is how the virus came to humans. It jumped from non-human primates to humans. How does a virus jump from animal to human other than meat eating? So other than meat eating, the chance of it jumping is very less. It is very less unless you are in close contact with the animal and the animal has a virus that can transfer through droplet infection. Okay, okay, chalo. Aage badhe फिर. Shall I move forward now? Chalo yaar. How did SIV occur in monkey? Beta dekho. There is no definitive answer to origin of a particular virus or origin of a particular bacteria. All of them evolved because of evolution. How did the first SIV came? मुझे भी नहीं पता. I think there would be only 5 people on this planet who would know. Okay. Okay, chalo. Now I'll close off the chat again. So I hope nobody has any doubt here. Chalo. I think somebody asked a question. What are prostitutes, beta? So prostitutes are people, men or women who engage in sex for money. So that is what prostitutes are. That is what prostitutes are. Okay. Chalo. आगे बढ़ते हैं now. Sorry. So now AIDS. So AIDS is caused by human immunodeficiency virus, and it is a member of group of viruses called retrovirus, and it is a group of members. It is a part of a group of viruses known as retrovirus. So AIDS is caused by HIV, human immunodeficiency virus, and it is caused by a group of virus called retrovirus. And in 2008, Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine was given to Francois Barsiniosi and Luc Montagnier for their discovery that infection of HIV causes AIDS. So these were the 2 people who discovered that it is HIV that causes AIDS, and as a result of that, in 2008 they were awarded the Nobel Prize in Medicine. Okay, so nothing complicated here. One piece of information you already know, the other piece of information is just fact. So AIDS is caused by HIV and HIV is part of retrovirus. Okay, and the Nobel Prize in 2008 was given by Francois Barsiniosi and Luc Montagnier for the discovery of the fact that HIV causes AIDS. HIV causes AIDS. Okay, so आगे बढ़ते हैं. So the question is transmission of HIV infection. How does the infection get transmitted? Sexual contact with infected person. Sexual contact with infected person. So sexual contact with infected person. Okay. So I'll go through next 2-3 slides in one shot. फिर मुझे बताना कोई भी doubt हो तो. Okay. Because all these slides are related. Because I know if I just ask questions at the end of the slide, तुम next slide का question पूछोगे. So I'll just rip through 2-3 slides continuously. Then I'll open up the doubt session. Okay. So sexual contact with infected person. If you engage in sexual activity with an infected person, you can get HIV. You can get HIV. Transfusion of contaminated blood and blood products. If you take blood from an infected person, you might get HIV. You will. In that case, definitely. Okay? Sharing infected needles, as is the case of intravenous drug abusers. So intravenous drug abuse का मतलब क्या है? Intravenous drug का मतलब क्या? Drugs that you have to take in your veins. So that is not intravenous. Right? Intra means between. Venous comes from the word veins. So drugs which involve syringe, which involve injecting yourself in the vein. So drug addicts, they usually share needles. So in that case, you can get infection if the person with whom you are doing drugs has HIV. First of all, drugs karna hi nahi hai. Never do drugs. Doing drugs is illegal. Okay? Then from infected mother to her child through placenta. So those are the 4 ways by which you can get HIV. If you have taken care of those 4 things, there's no way you can get HIV. So who are the people at risk? The people at high risk are individuals who have multiple sexual partners. बहुत ज्यादा हीरो बन रहे हो, multiple लोगों के साथ सेक्स करोगे, so individuals who have multiple sexual partners. Then drug addicts who take drugs intravenously. Drug addicts who take drugs intravenously. Again, that means you are injecting drugs. Intravenous का मतलब क्या? Veins में inject करना. Then individuals who require repeated blood transfusion. So if you are someone who suffers from anemia or low blood count and you have to repeatedly undergo blood transfusion. So if you go to a blood bank that has not taken proper care of the blood that they're taken in, then you might get HIV if the blood was infected. Then children born to an HIV infected mother. Children born to an HIV infected mother. Children born to an HIV infected mother. Okay? Okay, just couple of more slides, then pakka jitne doubts पूछने पूछ लेना. So it is important to note that HIV AIDS is not spread by mere touch or physical contact. किसी के सिर्फ छूने से तुम्हें HIV नहीं होगा. HIV उन्हीं 4 तरीके से होगा जो मैंने बताया. Sexual contact, sharing of needles, blood transfusion, infected mother to child. It will not spread through repeated touch or contact. It spreads only through body fluids. It spreads only through body fluid. Okay? That is why it is important. It is important for the physical and physiological well-being that HIV/AIDS infected person are not isolated from family and society. Imperative का मतलब क्या? Important. Thus, it is very important that we do not discriminate against HIV positive people, because just if you can hug them also, you will not get AIDS. Okay? In fact, if you hug a corona person, you might get corona, but you hug a HIV person, you will not get AIDS. Okay? So ये हमेशा याद रखना, this image. How can you not get AIDS? By kissing, you cannot get AIDS. Hugging, you cannot get AIDS. Sharing food, you cannot get AIDS. Insect bite, mosquito आया, मुझे पता है कोई ना कोई पूछेगा, mosquito आया, AIDS बंदे का blood पिया, तुम्हारे में आया, तुम्हें नहीं होगा, चिंता मत करो, चिंता मत करो. क्यों नहीं होगा? Because the blood that the mosquito feeds on, वो तुम में वो blood transfer नहीं करता है. The blood goes to its stomach. It is very happy. फिर तुम पूछोगे सर मलेरिया क्यों होता है? Because when the mosquito comes and bites you, the mosquito spits on the place where it is going to bite you. And थूक कहाँ से आता है? थूक comes from the salivary gland, and that is where the sporozoites are present. So that is why you can get malaria from a mosquito, but not AIDS, because the blood goes into the abdomen, and blood never comes out again. The blood never comes out again. Okay? But you get malaria because when the mosquito is about to bite you, it spits on your skin. And the spit comes from the salivary gland, and the salivary gland contains your sporozoites. The salivary gland contains your sporozoites. Okay? So that is why you can get malaria, but you cannot get AIDS by insect bites. You cannot get it through toilet seats also. तुम्हारे toilet use करने से पहले किसी AIDS positive person use किया है, you cannot get it from there. Bathing, साथ में नहा रहे हो, वैसे कोई नहाता तो है नहीं, right? Unless they are husband and wife in a very romantic mood. So if you take bath with them, you will not get it. Sneeze and cough से भी नहीं आएगा. Sweat से भी नहीं आएगा. So you can play with the HIV positive person, you can hug them, you can kiss them also. Okay? All those things will make sure, all those things you cannot get AIDS from. Okay? Now, one thing, if that person has a cut in his or her mouth, then you kiss that person. तब आ सकता है. So AIDS can be only transferred if you get the blood of that person, or if you come in contact with the fluid from the genital of that person. Okay? So only in that case you can end up with HIV/AIDS. Okay? So if you come in contact with the semen of a male who is HIV positive, or if you come in contact with the vaginal fluids of a female who is HIV positive, or from the blood of an HIV positive person, only then you can get AIDS. Otherwise you cannot get AIDS. Okay? So now I'll open up the doubt session. जितने doubts हैं करके पूछ लेना. Okay? Again, since I'm assuming I'll get a lot of doubts, I will not be able to go through all of them at the same time, but I'll try my best. Okay, chalo. If you have any doubts, let me know. अभी तक जो बताया कैसे होता है कैसे नहीं होता. On these two topics, if you have any doubts. Okay. How does it affect your body? उस पे doubts मैं entertain नहीं करूंगा. I'll entertain doubts and how do we get it? ये देखो पहला चीज वो where does the virus stay in the body? बेटा बताऊंगा ना. I'll come to that. मैंने क्या पूछा? Ask me doubts about how it gets transmitted, how it does not get transmitted. Does AIDS spread from saliva while kissing? Dhanush, photo फिर से देखो. I hope you are not blind. I hope you are not blind. Obviously, when two people are kissing, saliva will be exchanged. ठीक है? How semen will have HIV if it is present only in blood? अर्थात मैंने नहीं कहा that is present only in blood. It is present in two places. It is present in the genital fluids. It is present in the blood. Obviously, Pritish has come up with a very awesome doubt. If a small boy claps a mosquito containing HIV blood to kill it and by mistakenly puts a hand in mouth, will he get AIDS? Now, I would say theoretically he should. Whether practically he would or not, that is something I do not know. Okay? Yes, Tarun, both male and female get AIDS. Blood, does HIV reside in plasma? Manpreet, not the doubt that I would be entertaining right now. What AIDS does in our body, abhi main uspe cover karunga. If the virus does not spread through mosquito as the blood is in stomach, then how did it start from non-human primates as the people ate them even it was in the stomach? How did it spread through humans and why not the mosquitoes? Okay, that was way too much information and some of it did not make sense to me. So I figured out, I got a broad sense of your doubt. So the broad sense of your doubt was, okay, that beta, the thing is, dekho, so when that person would have eaten the meat of the chimpanzee or meat of the monkey, right? So obviously the SIV virus would have been present. The SIV virus would have been present in the body fluids of the monkey or the chimpanzee that he was eating. So once he ate it, the virus entered his body. That is how. If the HIV women, okay, 1 second here, बहुत ज़्यादा doubts आ गए, 1 second here. If the women has HIV, then if the men wearing the safety things, engaging in sex, okay, wearing the safety things, I'm assuming you mean condoms. You can type condoms, beta. I have no issues. I will not judge you. So, beta, dekho, the problem is if you wear condoms, it would drastically reduce you getting AIDS. But उसमें problem क्या है? If by chance the condom breaks off, उसका chance is less than 1%, but the chance is still there. Then you might get AIDS. So it's better never to engage in sexual contact with HIV positive person. How is it possible that a female vaginal fluid enters male genital organ? That is something you will know once you will engage in sex, which hopefully happens after you turn 18. So when people engage in sex, obviously male have something known as male urethra. So the female fluids, which are usually lubricative in nature, obviously they'll come in contact with the male urethra and they can enter the male urethra from there. Okay, let's see. Okay, if HIV women engage in sex with men who wear condom, did the men get HIV? But again, same thing. Chances are very, very less, but if the condom breaks off, then problem hai. Is saliva not body fluid? But beta, saliva mein HIV virus nahi present hota hai. Can it spread from tears? No. Can you go back to the previous slide? Pritish, what do you want to know from the previous slide? Okay, as a person with bleeding gums eats apple, then wheat. Then Atharv, yes, in that case, dekho, kissing mein nahi hoga, but as I said, agar uska mouth mein cut hai, if you kiss that person, then chances you can get AIDS. Why drugs are injected into veins? Wow. Basangoda, I'll be talking about this when I talk about drugs. Okay. Other than 5 types of spreading of AIDS, what are the other methods other AIDS spread? There are no other ways by which AIDS spreads. Can AIDS spread by breastfeeding? Basu, I'm not sure, but I think the answer is no. But I'm not sure. Pehli bata raha hu. But I think the answer is no. Okay, how are the symptoms of HIV infection? Vineet, aunga beta. Vineet, I'll come to. Vineet Madhurkar is asking me questions. Vineet, I'll come to that. Chinta mat karo. Viruses are not present in saliva? No. That is why kissing se nahi ho raha hai. ठीक है? Can AIDS spread? ये देखो, same question बार-बार मत पूछो बेटा. Okay, same question फिर से आया है. Same question फिर से. Okay, देखो, please type your doubts only once. I am scrolling through the chat. If I see your doubts multiple times, I will not entertain it at all. Okay, yes, Srishti, when two people kiss, saliva will exchange, but saliva does not contain HIV. Okay? Then how do HIV positive people fulfill their sexual desire? You will have to masturbate. Or kya? Okay? Or you will have to do it with another HIV positive person. Okay, incubation period, I'll come to that later. Okay, Pritish, you want to note down the last point. Oh my God, you're noting down the last point. But the last point is that we should not discriminate against people who are from HIV because by touching से spread नहीं होता है, ठीक है? Okay. So Dhanush, obviously, if there are only two people engaging in sex, they have not engaged in sex with anybody else, and neither of them have HIV, then obviously they will never get HIV. Multiple sexual partners से कैसे होता है? If you have sex with person A, person B, person C, person D, frequently, let's say में से person C को HIV है, then when you go back to have sex with person A, B and D, तुम उनको भी HIV दे दोगे, ठीक है? Okay, चलो. Okay, चलो आगे बढ़े. Do HIV/AIDS spread by sharing bed with an infected person? If by sharing bed means you sleeping with them, no. If by sharing bed means you sex, yes. Okay. Okay. 1 second. Why does saliva not contain HIV although it is a body fluid? It is not present there. Simple. It is not present there. It is found only in your blood and your semen and genital fluids. Okay. No, Srishti. No. Is there a possibility that it can't spread? What possibility? What can't spread? I fail to understand. Asking you a question, write it properly, man. Give me some context. Sapna थोड़ा आएगा मुझे तुम क्या पूछ रहे हो? Okay, चलो. ठीक है. So I hope that I have cleared all your doubts about AIDS. ठीक है. So in the next class I'll show you an ads on AIDS also by Indian government. बहुत मस्त ads हैं. ठीक है. Doctor working on HIV person can get HIV. Oh my God. Doctor is not going to have sex with the HIV person. Doctor is not going to take the HIV person's blood into his mouth. And doctor is sure as hell not doing drugs with that HIV person. So how is doctor going to get AIDS, HIV from the infected person? Socho na beta, like it's okay. I'm okay with spoon feeding, but I expect you guys to answer your own questions also, right? If a woman not have HIV, then man sex with more women, how he get? Rohit, I fail to understand your question, beta. Could you please be bit more elaborative? If a woman not have HIV, then man sex with more women, how he get? I don't know what you're saying. What are drugs? Magic pills. Okay. If a man comes sex with more than 4-7%, then he get HIV. I fail to understand, Rohit, what you're trying to say. Okay. Is there any way to cure it? Then Anshi, I'll come to that later. What is the meaning of repeated blood transfusion? Blood transfusion मतलब क्या? एक बंदे से दूसरे बंदे में. Repeated का मतलब क्या? बार-बार करना. पता हूँ. ठीक है? चलो यार. I'll close the session now. ठीक है? Okay. So I've closed the session now. Let's move forward. Okay, चलो. So now let's talk about the virus. ठीक है? So the virus is spherical with the diameter of 90 to 120 nanometer. The viruses. Okay, Anil, multiple partners means ज़्यादा लोगों से एक ही बंदे से सेक्स नहीं करना, बाकी सारे लोगों से सेक्स करना. So the virus is spherical with the diameter of 90 to 120 nanometer. The virus is spherical with the diameter of 90 to 120 nanometer, and its genome consists of single-stranded RNA. This is very important to remember. क्या होता है HIV में? Single. देखो अगर तुम्हें याद होगा that our virus can contain single-stranded or double-stranded RNA or double-stranded DNA. So HIV contains what? Single-stranded RNA. Okay? And it is segmented into two identical filaments. So there are two identical filaments of single-stranded RNA. Okay? I hope सबको single-stranded RNA का मतलब पता है. There is only one strand. The DNA is double-stranded. Single-stranded मतलब एक ही strand है. So there are two strands. There are two identical strands. ठीक है? And they are associated with the reverse transcriptase enzyme. So there is an enzyme known as reverse transcriptase. ये क्या होता है? मैं बताऊंगा in 10 minutes. अभी मत पूछना मुझसे chat में what is reverse transcriptase enzyme. What is that? I will tell in the next 10 minutes. ठीक है? So अभी के लिए बस structure पे focus करो. HIV दिखता कैसा है, होता कैसा है. So its diameter is 90 to 120 nanometer. Inside it contains single-stranded RNA. Single strand of RNA into two parts. It has been divided into two parts, and its envelope consists of lipid bilayer, which is derived from the host cell membrane. So we know that our cell membrane is made up of lipid bilayer, and similarly the envelope of the HIV also is made up of lipid bilayer, and it has projecting knob-like glycoprotein spikes. ये तुम spikes देख रहे हो, these spikes that you see, कांटे, right, these are made up of glycoprotein, that is glucose and proteins coming together, so that is your structure of the HIV virus. I'm opening up the chat now. Ask me questions specifically related to this slide. Do not ask me what is reverse transcriptase, मैं बताऊंगा. Do not ask me हमारी बॉडी में क्या करता है, वो भी बताऊंगा. Do not ask me what is its symptoms, वो भी बताऊंगा. Do not ask me what is its incubation period, वो भी बताऊंगा. Ask me questions, यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं समझा हो तो. If you did not understand anything from here, then tell me. Please explain point number 3. Kishore says that. So Kishore, point number 3 है कि the outer coating is lipid bilayer, which is exactly similar to the membrane of human cell, and it contains those spikes. Those spikes are made up of glucose and protein. Sanjana second point is that it consists of single stranded RNA. जैसे हमारे सेल में क्या होता है, double stranded DNA. उसमें क्या है, single stranded RNA है. There is only RNA is the genetic material and there is only single strand of it. दो strands नहीं है. ठीक है? Oh my God. Rohit has asked a question. If husband sex with wife many times, he or she get HIV. बेटा, having तुम एक बंदे से लाख बार सेक्स कर लो, अगर दोनों HIV नहीं है तो HIV नहीं आएगा. HIV कोई जादू की छड़ी नहीं है कि अगर तुमने that you can only have sex 1000 times, तुमने 1001 टाइम सेक्स किया तो HIV आ जाएगा. You get HIV from someone else. ठीक है? Okay. चेतन, उस पे आऊंगा बेटा. I'll come to that. Is DNA double stranded HIV? Abhishek, have I mentioned DNA in this slide? So where are you getting the idea of DNA here? Yes, Sathar. Yes, that is true. Okay? Okay, chalo. Chetan, I'll come to that later. Okay, so no doubts here. Okay. How to measure size? So beta, we measure size using electron microscope. Dhanush, hypothetical question, which is very fantastical in nature. I would say stay back after the class, get an answer to your question. Okay, chalo. Nobody has any doubt here in this particular slide? Okay, chalo. So now I've closed this session again. Now let's move forward. Okay, so now let's talk about AIDS a bit more. So now let's see abhi kaise hame infect karta hai. So after getting into the body of the person, the virus enters into macrophages. So after getting into the body of a person, the virus enters into the macrophages. The RNA genome of the virus replicates in the macrophages to form viral DNA with the help of enzyme reverse transcriptase. ये थोड़ा heavy हो गया. देखो, उसके लिए तुम्हें एक चीज जानना है, that DNA gives rise to RNA in human body by the process known as transcription. And your RNA gives rise to protein by the process known as translation. ठीक है, so RNA gives rise to protein. So अभी क्या होता है? Your first step is that the virus enters your macrophages. And macrophage का job है कोई भी बाहर से उसको engulf करना. But बेचारा macrophage को ये नहीं पता that by engulfing HIV, it is helping in spreading it. Anyway, so DNA gives rise to RNA by the process of transcription. RNA gives rise to protein by the process of translation. This is something that Neha ma'am will teach you in chapter number 5 and chapter number 6. Okay? So, abhi kya hai, when virus enters your macrophages, virus mein to kya hai? RNA. But tumhare cell mein kya hai? DNA. So the RNA has to get converted into DNA. And this process is known as reverse transcription. And this is carried out by the enzyme reverse transcriptase. So that is why reverse transcriptase. Okay, so that is why they have that reverse transcriptase enzyme. Why they have that reverse transcriptase enzyme? So that they can convert the viral RNA into DNA. So that they can convert the viral RNA into DNA. ठीक है? And after that, अभी क्या है? Viral RNA को हमने viral DNA में convert कर दिया. And the viral DNA gets incorporated into host cells DNA. तो क्या करेगा? Macrophage के DNA से जाके bind करेगा. And we know that DNA will eventually give rise to protein. So when that DNA will give rise to protein, it will also give rise to virus particles. It will also give rise to virus particles. So what is the first step? What is the first step? Virus enters macrophage. Virus enter macrophage. That is the first step. That is the first step. What is the second step? What is the second step? The second step is that RNA gets converted into DNA by reverse transcriptase. By reverse transcriptase enzyme. By reverse transcriptase enzyme. Then DNA. So this is viral DNA. VDNA लिख रहा हूँ. The viral DNA gets attached to human DNA. Gets attached to human DNA. And what is the fourth step? This combination gives rise to more virus particles. This combination gives rise to more virus particles. Okay? So I am opening up the chat. If you have any doubt to batao. If you have any doubt to batao. I am not going to entertain doubts on previous topics. Spread कैसे होता है वो सब. यहाँ पे कोई doubt है तो बताओ. If you did not understand anything, please let me know. If you did not understand anything, let me know. ठीक है? If you have any doubts in this particular slide, please let me know. Second point. Someone got a second point is RNA gets converted to DNA. RNA gets converted to DNA by reverse transcriptase enzymes. By reverse transcriptase enzymes. Yes, Dhanush, you're absolutely correct. Okay. So what is the third point? What is the third point? So third point is that the viral DNA gets attached to human DNA. And we know that at regular interval, human DNA gives rise to protein by the process that I mentioned above. The DNA will give rise to RNA, the RNA will give rise to protein. So when this process is taking place, तो साथ में viral DNA का भी ये process हो जाता है. Right? The viral DNA will get converted to RNA and that viral RNA will get converted to viral protein. So that is what the third point means. That is what the third point means. So that is how the virus particles are. That is what the particle of virus are. That is how the particles of virus are given rise to. Pritish, they follow the reverse dogma, beta. They follow the reverse dogma. Okay? So yes, Ashwin, in the second point, this is viral RNA which gets converted into viral DNA by reverse transcription. Because तुम्हारे macrophages में तो already human DNA है ना? Okay? How does DNA of virus and human macrophages come in contact? Because they're in the same cell. And then the virus DNA gets attached to the human DNA. Gets attached into the human DNA. Okay? So there are enzymes known as ligases, right? Which you guys would study in 5th and 6th chapter. Okay? So those help in joining the two set of DNA, human DNA and viral DNA. Okay? Okay. Now nobody has any doubt? Is there a problem with other protected DNA and gene in the body? Mahavir, abhi ruk jao, abhi pura process complete nahi hua hai. Why does a macrophage doesn't engulf it? Because macrophage ka job hi hai engulf karna, beta. Okay? How does human DNA accept the DNA of a virus, beta? So there are enzymes known as ligases. There are enzymes known as unwindases, which help in breaking down and attachment of the DNA. Okay? Beta, there is no difference between human DNA and viral DNA, both are made up of the same thing. 4 things. Adenine, cytosine, thymine, and guanine. Compounds same here. In which order they are arranged, that determines whether it's a human DNA or viral DNA. But human DNA and viral DNA structurally are essentially the same. Same compounds के बने होते हैं, same sugar के बने होते हैं, same bases होते हैं, same hydrogen bonds भी होता है. ठीक है? How are virus particles getting raised? So virus particles are formed when the human DNA will undergo transcription and translation. So in that process, वायरल डीएनए भी अपना हाथ धो लेता है, कहते हैं ना बहती गंगा में हाथ धोना, कि सबको फ्री का मिल रहा है, मुझे भी फ्री का मिल जाए. So when the human DNA gets converted into RNA, okay, when the RNA gets converted into protein, तो साथ साथ वायरल डीएनए बोलता है चलो मेरा भी काम कर दो, तुम आए हो तो. So viral DNA also gets converted to viral DNA. It also gets converted into viral protein. How uracil and RNA converts into thymine? Dhanush, वो बेटा that Neha ma'am will teach you in 5th and 6th chapter. ठीक है. ओके, ये देखो फिर से किसने ओके सबको समझा यहाँ तक. चलो now I'll close off it. Okay, बसु रुक जाओ, wait for it बेटा. ठीक है. So now I'll close it off for now. Let me move to the next slide. So this is the image of what I discussed in the previous slide. ठीक है. देखो first step is what? Fusion of HIV to the host cell surface. Second step is reverse transcriptase and other viral proteins enter the cell. ये देखो अभी वायरस ने क्या किया, अपना empty कर दिया, वायरस ने अपना load empty कर दिया. Now there is reverse transcriptase here. Reverse transcriptase converts RNA into DNA. So RNA is the red one, ठीक है, and DNA is the yellow one. ठीक है. So reverse transcriptase convert RNA into DNA. Now with the help of integrase enzyme, the viral DNA will get incorporated into the host DNA. So as you can see, viral DNA अब host DNA में घुस गया. And when this DNA will undergo transcription and translation, तो साथ ही साथ viral particles भी form होंगे. So new viral RNA is formed. And then what will happen is that this new viral RNA and protein will move to the cell surface and a new immature HIV virus form, and then the virus is released, and then the entire process keeps on repeating. Okay, so that was whatever we studied in the previous slide, but with a figure so that you guys can visualize it also. अब बोलो, अब कोई doubt है बेटा in replication of HIV in human body? Now tell me, the chat box is open. If you have any doubts, let me know your chat in the chat. Let me know your doubts in the chat box. ठीक है. Okay. HIV does not have tail. What tail? What tail you're talking about? Okay, so you're talking about kya? Nahin, they just have that thing. Okay, yes, Dhanush, virus is very clever. Why doesn't natural killer cell kill it? Because they divide very rapidly. Yeah. So by the time the natural killer cells get activated, your cells have produced way too many. Virus particles to be kept in control. Okay, period of replication of virus in human body. So beta, if you talk about incubation period, so incubation period varies, man. It could vary from months to years. Okay, so maybe that depends on how fast the virus is replicating. In one process, how many virus particles are formed? I cannot answer that question. Okay. Okay, why lysosomes do not engulf the released particles by viruses? Because beta, the viruses have mechanisms to evade the lysosome mechanism, because it is part of the. Why do you think it is getting incorporated in the human DNA? Because once it gets incorporated in the human DNA, your cell thinks कि ये तो अपना ही भाई है. So why should we kill it? ठीक है. After replication, does virus RNA forms its protein layer? बेटा protein layer यही, ये देखो protein synthesis यहीं पे हो गया. ठीक है. Okay, got it. Okay, what are co-receptors? Beta, wo co-receptors bhul jao, that is beyond the scope of the syllabus. Okay, that is something you'll study in immunology. Okay, forget about that. Just do not engage in that, because there are different types of receptors present on your surface. There is GP120, there is GP90, there is GP150, and all of them serve different functions, right? So let's not talk about that. Beta, Ishanvi, because the virus has developed a mechanism to get itself incorporated into the DNA of the macrophages. So the macrophage considers it as a part of its own body. That is why. What happens after the viral particles are formed? Ashwin, as you can see in the figure, that the virus particle will get released from the cell and a new virus is formed. So basically, the macrophages act as factory for HIV virus. The macrophages act as factory for HIV virus. Okay. Okay, Rohit, I'll come to that later. Okay. what are the B cells and T cells are doing? Beta, B that's a good question, right? Why are the B cells and T cells? What are the B cells and T cells doing? अभी उस पे आऊंगा, अभी पूरा नहीं हुआ है, अभी हमने macrophages का काम किया है. It works on T cells also. Do not worry. ठीक है? Okay. Please explain 7 step in the figure. बेटा 7 step कुछ नहीं है. 7 step क्या है? Your virus particles in the viral gene RNA will get accumulated in the corner of the cell, and then they will bud off. And a new virus is formed. Okay, a new virus is formed. ठीक है? Okay, बेटा viruses are not motile. They go with the flow. जहाँ उनको खून ले जाएगा वहाँ चल देंगे. ठीक है? चलो यार. Okay, so now I'll close the chat session again. बेटा Ishanvi same as virus बेटा. ठीक है? चलो. So now let's move forward. Now let's talk about अभी हमने किस बात किया? Macrophages. But macrophages is not the only thing that they infect. So macrophages continue to produce virus and in this way act like a HIV factory. ठीक है? Now simultaneously HIV enters into helper T cells. अभी HIV खत्म नहीं हुआ है, macrophages को अटैक किया ही किया, अभी helper T cells को भी अटैक करेगा and replicates and produces virus progeny. So जिस तरह से, so in a way, the way it was producing virus particles inside the macrophages, the same process it repeats inside the helper T cells also. The same process it repeats in the helper T cells also, and the progeny viruses released in the blood attack other helper T cells. So it attacks macrophages and it attacks helper T cells also, and in both of them it leads to production of more virus. And these viruses will go back and attack the helper T cells. And we know that helper T cells play a role in differentiation of other lymphocytes. They help in production of antibodies, right? They help in cytotoxic T cells functioning, right? So all these functions are now impaired. They are not taking place as efficiently as they used to. That is why your B lymphocytes are not as efficient, because helper T cells, which used to play such an important role in production of the antibodies, those are now not functioning properly. Those are now being rapidly destroyed by viruses. Okay, so this repeated division, okay, leading to progressive decrease in the number of helper T lymphocytes, okay, in the body of the infected person. Okay, so this repeated division leads to a progressive decrease in the number of helper T cells in the body of the infected person, and during this period the person suffers from bouts of fever, diarrhea and weight loss. So as you can see, HIV will enter T cell, it will replicate, then it will copy itself inside the host and it will destroy that helper T cells, and now more viruses are released and they're ready to infect more helper T cells. Okay, I'm opening up the chat again. If you have any doubt, let me know. Okay, so how does it replicate inside the T cell? Same as it replicated inside the macrophages. Okay, if you have any doubts, please let me know. Okay, bouts of fever. वो bouts of fever का मतलब क्या बेटा? Repeated fevers. No antibodies are formed until this occurs. बेटा, if antibodies were being formed against HIV, तो हमें HIV होता ही नहीं, right? Can I show the last slide? ये लो बेटा, last slide दिखा दिया मैंने, sorry. Yeah, I've shown you the last slide. ठीक है? Okay, any other doubts बेटा? Here? ठीक है? Yes, it is a well-defined plan of the virus to ensure that no antibodies are formed. Okay, HIV invades only helper T cells. Yes, Shashwarya. Does it form antibody? No. If antibody बनता है तो बेटा infection eliminate ही होता है ना. Antibody नहीं बन रहा वही तो problem है. Antibody क्यों नहीं बन रहा? Because helper T cells have been screwed over. No primary response generated. Yes, Chetan, no primary response is generated. ठीक है? how viruses are so clever, because they know how to survive. Okay, chalo, okay. So on that note, I'll stop this session here. We'll continue it in the next class, that is on Monday. Okay. So please give me a quick feedback, guys. I hope that you guys liked today's class. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's class, and most importantly, I hope that you guys learned in today's class. Okay. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Till then, take care, guys. Bye bye. Bye bye.